Hi everyone, it's been now a little over 3 weeks since Chinese New Year, and really the city is now just barely starting to come back to what its normal self. Traffic obviously starting to pick up just a little bit. A couple of weeks ago I posted a video showing how much of a ghost town this was after the Chinese New Year and during this whole quarantine period of the coronavirus. Now people have started to return back to the city. Those who have been staying here have slowly started going back to work. And so we're starting to see a pickup here in Beijing. Once you're past the 3rd, 4th Ring Road, which is what you see here, that's when you start seeing a little more traffic, a little more activity, more of those delivery guys, back at work. Many of who have been in self-quarantine for 2 weeks, well, that period is now up. And those who are barely coming back from outside or from their travel, they have to quarantine themselves for 2 weeks from the moment they arrive. So anyway, we're in that transition period from when the city emptied out to the city going back to normal. And that's really going to be key to contain the spread of the virus here in Beijing. Now, other things that I've noticed so far is all the apartment complexes here in the city have started to implement more measures, not only taking your temperature when you walk into the building, but also keeping a record of who was in town and who had left town. And so if you had left town, then you would have to, they're trying to keep you quarantined in your apartment. But other than that, if you stayed put like I did, then basically you get some passes. So we got these 2 passes now. I guess this is what allows us now to go back home. They're starting to implement this all over town. So we gotta re-register at our own apartment building and get these passes. If we lose these, well, they won't let us in, and we'll have to, try to get another one. Now I'm gonna need to show this every time I walk into my apartment complex. It's apparently now a new rule all across Beijing. There's a few questions on the back asking if you're leaving Beijing, and if so, when will you return? And if you're traveling or have been traveling, if you've been to Hubei, and to report any sort of symptoms. The city has had maybe about just under 400 official confirmed coronavirus infections and a handful of people who have died of the coronavirus. Another interesting development is the U.S. Embassy here in Beijing alerted everybody in an email that it's urging people that if they can leave, Americans, if they're able to leave by commercial means, to do so, because there are now very limited flights going out of the city. In the case of mandatory or needed evacuation, they might not be able to respond effectively because of its limited resources right now. There's a lot of expats like myself who are deciding to stay put, and we have faith that things are gonna go back to normal here. There's some hope that maybe by April, this whole coronavirus issue will hopefully die down. I'll keep you updated.